My storytelling journey started that same summer of 2003. We used to live here in Upper East Tennessee. We moved here in the mid-1970s and moved away in 1979. We met lifelong friends while we lived here. Fanny Kate Chase and her husband Tom. Fanny's here with us tonight. And while we were here, like I said, we met lifelong friends. And everywhere we moved since then, we were friends with Fanny Kate. Well, that summer of 2003, for some reason, Tom Chase, her husband, had sent a brochure for the National Storytelling Festival to Mom and Dad's house in Virginia Beach. And I was over there one day and I was looking at that thing and I said, "What's this?" And Pop said, "Oh, it's something Chase sent over here. I don't know what it is." But as soon as I picked up that piece of paper, I knew that I needed to come to the National Storytelling Festival. Well, when I was at my clown meeting, you remember the clown meeting, right? I told them that I was going to go to the National Storytelling Festival. The clown meeting was in August of 2003. The festival, my first festival, was in October of 2003. And I told them I was all excited because here I am going to be a clown and I'm going to go listen to stories too. And they said, "You know what, that's great because we're always looking for people to come teach workshops and seminars here to us clowns. And you can come be our program in November after you've gone out and learned all of those stories." Say what? "Yeah, you can be our program." Well, before my mind could really process that, I said, "I'd love to." Okay. So we find out about the National Storytelling Festival. We come out here, we get our tickets, we attend our first National Storytelling Festival. I got to listen to Gladys Cogswell tell Foot, Foot, Foot. And I got to hear some guy from West Virginia. He could tell a whopper, Bill Lepp. And I got to hear, well, no, really, I got to see a fellow named Billy Sago. He was deaf, and he told stories in sign language. And he had an interpreter there for the hearing audience. And he told the most beautiful story about a little kid that had gone off to the North Carolina School for the Deaf. And I got to see Ed Stivender, and I got to experience all of these wonderful stories. And I went back to Virginia Beach, and now I've got to come up with some kind of a program for a bunch of clowns. What am I going to do? Well, I could write a story about my trip to the first National Storytelling Festival. So that's what I did. I took pen and paper and I wrote about coming out here and hearing all of these stories. And in that story, I could tell little snippets and little pieces of different stories and tell a little bit about each of the storytellers. And that's what I did. On November at the Clown Alley meeting, I stood up with a bunch of clowns sitting around the table. And I told that story. Well, actually, I was not a very experienced storyteller, so I read the story that I'd written. But in those moments, I again saw that look in those eyes, the look I saw in my mom's eye, the look I saw in those kids' eyes at the hospital, my friend Josiah in his eye. And there was some magic that happened there. I see it in some of your all's eyes, as a matter of fact. There's something magic that happens when we tell stories and when we listen to stories. There's a community that builds here. And again, I was hooked. Well, I was coming out of the visitor center at my trip to the first National Storytelling Festival, and I was looking at a brochure rack, and lo and behold, East Tennessee State University has a master's degree program in storytelling. And I had put that in my knapsack. And after I'd finished the story with the clowns, I got to thinking that maybe I needed to do something. And so I contacted Joseph Sobel and some of the folks, Delannis here too, from the program. And I was accepted, and I have now moved here to Johnson City. Actually, I live in Jonesborough. And I'm a full-time student at East Tennessee State University getting my master's degree in storytelling. I understand how cool that is. Y'all don't have to tell me. I know how cool that is. That is unbelievable.